All right. All right. We are live. Good morning, my friends. What's up? Welcome to Bets for Breakfast. On today's show, going to be using my site, mysparryads.com, all the optimizers, betting models, the projections for player props. We're going to use the Sharp Money Radar, the Plus EV Optimizer. We're going to look at Pick'em, sportsbooks, parlays. We're doing it all every day. I'm here at 9 a.m. Be here for me, and I'll be here for you. Let's turn on that music. Let's get 1 minute or so to settle in. Let the people usher in, sit down in their seats, and then let's make some bets, my friends. It's time to get bet. All right, let's go. It's time. Make some bets, my friends. How about some bets for breakfast? Yeah. Oh, there it is back there. Bets for breakfast, baby. That's where you are if you just tuned in. Second YouTube channel. Do me a huge favor. This is for the talk shows all the time. The other channel, that's for the videos. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're on YouTube. Subscribe if you're new. If you just caught the channel sometime today, randomly on the interwebs, this is a very good channel to follow. You're going to get a lot of sports betting picks here and analysis, 1 hour every single morning. Let's get to it. So let's first thing, before we get to the recaps from yesterday, before we get to more picks and things, well, actually, I got a pick for you now. I want to show you how something's been working on the site. This is the trends tool. Literally the last thing I ever highlight. And I should probably say this real quick before I get to this first pick for Cabron Hayes. Link right there. Donut site. Yeah, that's mine. DFS and Donuts. mysparryads.com. Give it a look. And I highlight this yesterday and the day prior because I guess I had spent the first 6 weeks or 5 weeks never highlighting it. Okay, there's the landing page. It shows you everything the site has to offer. You click these photos. It shows you both the mobile, that would be cell phone, tablets, and then it shows you PC view, and you can read what are the Sims and AI betting models. What's the odds board? What's the Pick'em optimizer? Sharp Money Radar, so on and so forth. Then you can go down here, see some FAQs and some testimonies. You click here and you realize for a limited time, there's a 33% off discount. The discount is applied indefinitely. So it's not like a first month. No. You sign up now during this introductory soft launch phase and you keep this price forever, regardless of whether or not this price goes up. So someday this is 90, then it's 150, then it's $199, and you're sitting there on this forever, as long as you stay renewed. Now, we're adding tools. Two things we're making: a predictions market tool, and we are making a parlay builder. Those will be added to the Sharp Edge. The Essentials is basically all the essential tools you need to bet on sports. Essentials also gets included here. So if you end up getting the Sharp Edge, you get everything here, and then everything going forward that we ever make. And things like there's a lot of stuff I can't even cover on the show. There's too much. The tool is insane. It's insane. There's so many different tools. The site is insane. I totally missed it. Top 5 money lines and spreads all swept yesterday. And actually have an idea I want to talk about for parlaying the game model. I did one game model parlay yesterday for a plus 800. It was like Kansas City and Detroit. I took the money line, the opposing team run line, and the total all from the model. Just all three, right directly from the model. Full sweep, plus 800. I did nothing. I didn't even know who was pitching. I don't care about that stuff anymore. It's all baked into everything we do. So anyways, also the yearly plan, same thing. It's a 33% off and you get 2 months free included. So quite the deal if you plan on sticking around long term. Okay. Got that out of the way. People need to know about it. I continue to forget about it, but this week I'm making an effort to make sure I break things down. So what is this? This is a trends tool. I never use it ever, but I've been using it this week because we keep cashing parlays. 3 straight live shows. We've cashed this parlay. So you're seeing it now. What it is I've selected the hits, runs, and RBIs market. I've gone to the unders. Okay, so these hit rates are for unders. This would be overs. This is unders. I have season long, and then I added a 100% hit rate. So if I remove that, you'll see everybody else. You can sort and organize, but I'm saying literally everybody who has not had 2+ hits, runs, RBIs in a single game this season. That's all I'm looking for. This short list, it is Thursday. It's swept on Monday. It's swept on Tuesday. It's swept on Wednesday. There are often players here that end up not being in the starting lineup. They seem to be a lot of platoon hitters, and that makes sense why they suck. Or some guys are just really cold. 9-0. Those picks are 9-0 this week. I'd say about 7 or 8 of them were straight odds viable. Now, they can be a little juicy, and here's a good example. Let's look at it together. Cabrian Hayes, I don't know. I don't care. It does not matter in regards to sports betting. Not that I don't care about his name or him as a person. I have no clue. It just has to do with betting, man. That's all we're here for. So what I see here is that he stinks. He's not good so far this year, at least results-wise. So I click on his player card. It opens up. I can bounce around. I can see he's only got 3 hits on the season. I look at his games here. He's not had a hit in 21 at-bats. I look at the odds here, deep linked. Novig minus 156. That's going to pop open on the site. And then DraftKings minus 156. Let me make sure I'm not logged in. There we go. There you go. Minus 156. Recheck location, blah, blah, blah. All right. So that's it. That's literally it. I've seen enough. You come here, I even look at his hits. It's only a minus 154 that he even gets a hit today. And that, 2 hits might be a tall order. On top of that, to get an RBI is a plus 270, very low implied probability. Same thing to score a run, plus 201 to score a run. So if he's got a low probability, implied probability of scoring a run, a low implied probability, even a lower one to have an RBI, and his implied probability at minus 154 is not even that crazy to get a single hit. Yeah, I like the under 1.5 hits, runs, RBI. So I ran that out as an official play. Now, the game models. Let me actually show you. I'm going to open up my DraftKings account on the side here, and I'm going to show you a photo for an idea for a parlay. And I'm also, while I'm talking, I'm going to leave the game model up today. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see it all. How about that? So you can see the game projections. I'm zoomed out. I can't see what it looks like. I'm on another monitor right now, and I'm highlighting. I want to highlight a parlay I did yesterday, an idea I had, because I think if you're a user of the site, you can I think we might be able to make some decent money. I just never do this. I just never do this. So I wanted to try it out because I've never done it before for MLB. So all I did, un momento por favor, I threw $5 on it. Nothing crazy. Literally a nothing burger. I just wanted to track it. I needed a way to track it. So yesterday in the model, I had taken Detroit Tigers money line under 8.5, Royals plus 1.5. I just was like, all right, there's only like 2 games that qualified where the run line and the money line, and it had just worked out. Okay. And another layer to it is that I made sure that they were all, I think they had to be the top 30%, 33% on the slate, like the most of the stuff on the model. And let me show you exactly what I mean, okay, as I'm fumbling through my thoughts, but I've never talked about it, so let me work on this. We've got 9 games today. Yesterday we had 15. So what I ended up doing was like KC and Detroit, once again, they were the number 1 under yesterday, okay? So they are, again, Detroit plus 1.5, third best. Okay, this is freaking great so far, right? Oh, man. We needed KC money line here. So that's how I used the tool. I'm like, all right, so we get a really strong confidence ranking for the under. We get a great strong confidence ranking for the spread, but then we don't have KC money line here. And that's all I did. So today, are there any teams where we're the top, let's say, there's 9 games. So let's say we won all 3 categories, top 5, 8, 7, 7 ranking, 5, 10, 3. Maybe this is as close as it gets. 10 games. Okay. So this is the least confident spread pick. That's the tough part about this, is I'm not sure how many games will actually qualify daily. Same thing here. Cleveland money line strong. The under is strong, but then, it's unfortunately it's not Baltimore covering. Colorado, San Diego, Texas, Oakland, lower confidence. Yeah, I think as good as it gets might be this one. Tampa money line under 7.5, but then you're taking the least confident run line. That's the problem here. Second least okay, so you get the under 8.5 for Pittsburgh, Washington, Pittsburgh money line, and then Washington to covers the third least confident on the day. Anyways, I wanted to highlight it because that plus 800 was, it might not be something we can do daily. And this show's all about making money. It's just, that's what this show's about. I want to make money. I want to find unique ways to make money. And I want to use math. I want to use models, and I want to follow the money to make money. So that's what we'll do on the show. Sharp Money Radar, positive EV betting, top down betting. We're going to use the optimizer. And then lastly, we're going to use models. I don't think sitting back anymore. And I had this conversation in chat with a couple OGs yesterday. I love them. I appreciate them. I respect them greatly. But I think some people are very much stuck in the past on how betting works. Originating bets, looking at data and trends and matchups and DVP, last 5 games, stuff like that, I think is fairly unnecessary these days. They're baked into the lines. Even the Cabron Hayes stuff, like, projections are slamming the under over and over again. So I also like it. Like, there's a lot to like there. I'm not entirely sure kicking back on your couch and, scrolling BVP and spin rate on a curveball and all this nonsense helps you anymore. It's just baked in here. It's like, what is the price you're paying for the picks you're making? And that's what matters the most. So I don't know if we have one today that works, but I wanted to give that concept to you because I think this is something we could probably do here long term and maybe be at a really good spot for parlays. Like, I would rather parlay it like this than doing anything different. And it reminds me of, raise your hand, chat, raise your hand right now. If you were one of the people who were here for my YouTube shows during the NFL season, when we cashed out like 15 to 20 of those primetime SGPs, how did we make those primetime SGPs? Did I sit back and I looked at all the passing metrics for a quarterback? That I discussed, their travel plans and how many miles west to east coast, sleeping patterns, all this nonsense and narratives. Raise your hand if you were here. What did I do? How did I make those parlays? Those single game parlays that kept cashing for all of those SGPs. How did I do it? What did I use and how did I do it? Who remembers? I see people raising their hand, but who can I understand people played those bets. They were here for those parlays, but how did we do it? How did we make those parlays? And I know this is a different start to the show. You're sitting here like, where's the picks? Where's the picks? I'm getting there. I'm going to make those picks, but I want to highlight this because I'm from the future. Nope. Close. Rava said overspread money line. Close. Couple MLB totals. No. What did we do? Let me help you. We did this. Correct. All we did was use the NFL betting model. Correct. Money worm. Correct. It would be like Monday Night Football, Bills, Steelers, Bills money line, Steelers plus 7.5, under 40.5 points. That's what the model said. And we would just run it out. We would just run out the model as a parlay. And that's essentially what I'm thinking could be feasible for MLB. But we need to pay attention to the confidence rankings. Like, I don't think taking the third least confident pick is the play. I think it's pretty much just, you're going to have to do a little checking. All right, 10 games on the slate. This is quite a low confidence. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. I think there's a path to success here if we do that. I also find this interesting. I have not tracked it at all. And this is all stuff we're going to be adding to our tracking is, what if we just looked at like the best play in each market, best hits, runs, RBIs projection, best strikeout projection, so on and so forth. What if we look at those, play them as straights, play them as a parlay? Like maybe this is the parlay today. Yankees money line, Cleveland plus 1.5, under 8.5 Detroit. Like what are the odds here? Let's look at it real quick. I'm going to toss that into a quick pick link. Let me go New York Yankees money line. I'm going to go Guardians plus 1.5, and then we'll go Detroit. I guess KC / Detroit under 8.5. And I'll tell you what the odds are here live. Like, I'm totally curious. I don't know if this is going to work, y'all. I don't know. I do not know. I have no freaking clue. 86% confidence, very strong, very strong. That's decent. It's a moderate level. Like if we go to the game breakdowns and we go look at the Yankees, there we go. 67% confidence, simulations model says that's a lean, slight edge to New York, close to a coin flip. The under 9.5 for this game, confident, moderate. Both starting pitcher, blah, blah, blah. New York, when they win, here's the cool part of the model, in my opinion. Like for me, the play is actually probably not even on the Yankees. It would be on the Yankees run line. 65% of the time in the simulations, they won by 2+ runs. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to see. So I think really, yes, we can look at just the bare bones summary. But I believe that, looking at the game breakdown a little bit further and finding ways to use that stuff is going to be better for us. This looks like BetMGM has this for a plus 290, DraftKings plus 282. Let's put our money where our mouth is. I'll enter this for a small quarter unit here, and we'll just track it. Hey, if it cashes, we'll be able to celebrate together. So, anyways. Different start to the show, but I thought it was worth talking about. Trucker Joe, appreciate you, buddy. How many people are watching on YouTube, and how many likes do we have, as I have forgotten to ask? 86 are watching, 28 likes. You ain't wrong, Trucker Joe. Those are rookie numbers. We got to pump them up. Let's go. Let's go ahead and work our way backwards today. We'll go over to the Plus AV optimizer, the Sharp Money Radar, and the DFS optimizer for Pick'em. We'll do that in a hot second. Let's go backwards today. Let's make a parlay first. So A couple things we can do here with the 100% hit rates. I think it's a smaller slate. So what I'm going to do is take a screenshot, the first 3 sections, columns, player, market, line. All right. And then I'm just going to tag the quick pick bot inside my Discord. And I'm going to say under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Bang, bang, bang. All right. So remember, these plays are 9-0 this week. And then the other category I'm going to look at is the RBIs under. How many players do we have today? Oh my God. So a billion. I think what we'd have to do here, and I wish I continue to remember, is I want to look at only the players with a decent sample size. So that would be like Jack Caglianone, Billy Cook, Sam Haggerty, Brandon Hayes, Derek Hill, and these 3 right here, Jimani Jones, Luis Matos, and Edgar Cuero. I'm not looking at the guys who have only played 1 game, 2 games, 2 games, 2 games, 3 games, 1 game. I want the larger sample size, and we could put together a full list of players. Oh, that didn't work. We could put together a full parlay with this smaller list of plays. I'm just totally intrigued. Again, these are not based on the projections. I'm just using the trends, and the trends tool has been working. It's been working. It's kind of crazy. You could do all this on Novig, the best exchange out there. Code Donuts, DONUTS. Exactly what I'm showing you right now, Bryden Curry, Novig, man. You can clean up on Novig. Let me see if I can make this quickly, and I'm going to give all my viewers this link. That's how much I love you. I'm going to give you this link. All right, so hang tight. You're sitting around watching the show. You're like, where's the pick'em? Where's the pick'em? First off, that's a problem. Let's get some perspective here. That is an issue. If that is you right now, call the number. You're fiending for pick'em? Call the number. All right. This one's going to be under 0.5 RBIs. I'm going to get you a link for this stuff today. See if this worked. All right, that one worked. Put that up here. This one, did it work? Yes, it did. I've got 8 legs for RBIs unders. I've got 5 legs for the hits, runs, RBIs unders. All right, the hit, run, RBI unders. Check this out. Remember, again, this list is 9-0 this week. Some are juicy. Some are decent. Parlaying for plus 599. Hopefully DraftKings has some boost. Yes, they do. Cool. So I can apply these. Again, I can't enter these live. My YouTube gets a strike. It gets a strike. But what I'm probably going to do, simply because it's just been working, man, it's probably going to run them out, put a unit in, and then I go down here, and I do like, 0.2 units or something. Something light. Or maybe a quarter unit if I'm feeling fresh. You feeling me? So, anyways, I'll have a link for that. I'm going to do that off the screen real quick. Give me a moment. It just keeps hitting. Why not? Got to feel alive. And then we go ahead and look at what does the RBI parlay look like. RBI unders parlay comes out to a plus 553. Not bad. Now, I'm not running anything out straight like this. Maybe I'm semi-interested in something like that. A little 2-pick SGP action. But I'll probably just throw like a quarter unit down on the parlay and call it a day. Give me a moment. I'm doing this all off the screen just so you can see. I'm not lying. You can see my balance is changing. Quarter unit, so on and so forth. All right. So I'll share those links inside Discord for mysparryedge.com users in the alerts channel. All right. So you just hang tight. I'll get to you. All right, let's get to it. Let's make some picks. We're going to use today. Let's go prize picks and underdog, MLB, NBA, NHL. Let me run down all the things really quick. Remember, DFS Optimizer, not all sports books are created equal. They're not. All right. Some books like BetMGM, Bet Rivers, Caesars, like they don't shape and mold the industry and the lines. you're going to want to pay attention to the sharp book, Circa, Bet Online, AG, FanDuel, Pinnacle. Certain books are better for player props versus games, Pinnacle, player props, FanDuel, NBA, so on and so forth. There's a lot of different little things, and you need to know these things, or you need to just simply use our sharp odds. Sharp odds is essentially weighted lines from the sharpest books where we don't care about BetMGMs of the world. And then all you're doing here is looking at, okay, a fixed price for a 3-pick entry on Prize Picks, minus 118. And you're seeing Kobe White under 2.5 assists, minus 136 sharp odds. Remember, sharpest NBA prop book, FanDuel, says it's a minus 145 for a pick 'em app. We do not care about both sides of the coin. We're just looking at the one side. And for this side, specifically, not only do we smash the sharp odds, but we absolutely obliterate the sharpest book right there, and that's FanDuel. So you click the play now. It deep links this play over on Prize Picks, and there you go, just so you can see that it's there. I'm telling you, it's all deep linked. That's Kobe White under 2.5 assists. This ends up being a great freaking play. Now I'm clicking Save Bet. What does this do? Well, we've created a bet tracker on the site, which I had created just for my live shows. That's all this is for. It's just for my live shows. But people started watching me and they're like, Donuts, I need access to this. I want it. I want to use it. So what did we do? We created some charts. You got April, March. You can look at it by dollars. You can look at it by units. You can see these are all the plays I've made for live shows. The only days I've made for non-live shows here were 4 days when I was in Florida, and I did 64 slips on Underdog, and I showed everybody, and I synced it to pick it. I synced it to Juice Reel. 4 days of profit starting right here, Tuesday night into Friday, and made 11.8 units, 17% ROI. All I did during those days is take the DFS optimizer, the sharp money radar that we're going to look at today as well. Price Picks Underdog, we'll add that one. And then the Plus EV optimizer, which I absolutely love for Pick'em because we devig the lines. And here's another Pick'em app. Play Jackson Merrill over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Now, helpful hints. When I click this button on every tool, it tells you how I view these tools, best use for them, and how well it goes. Now, again, devigged, fair odds, true probability, no bookmaker vig and margin. So what we do is we've got all our sports books. We devig the lines for you, and then you are simply running them against the fixed price pick'em apps. Now, of course, you can do other things like add DraftKings, Caesars, DK Pick 6, FanDuel. You've got all these no vig. You've got all these options over here. You want to add them? Go for it. You can add them to your list. For this show, we usually do Prize Picks, Underdog, no vig, DraftKings. Some of my more popular books. That's all I'm using them for. Okay, that's the goal. So I like to compare versus the fair odds. That's the DVIG lines. And then on top of that, I also like to compare versus FanDuel and Pinnacle to see how much we're beating them by. If I don't have a line for FanDuel or Pinnacle, which I do not here, I usually don't play it. I just don't. I don't play it if I don't have that line. I want to be able to see FanDuel. I want to see Pinnacle. Pinnacle MLB doesn't come out until like 10-ish in the morning Eastern. So that's tough. Again, you can click on player cards. You can go look at this. You can see what we project them for. You can view the other odds for this. It's deep linked in there. For the sake of the show, we save these because I highlight and talk about them. But again, personally, I'd be looking to see if FanDuel and Pinnacle have lines and compare to them even after devigging the line. And again, like here's another one. This Nick York fella. I don't know who he plays for. Pittsburgh, probably Pittsburgh. I don't believe he's a Nationals player. Looks like a platoon hitter, even better. Now, do we have lines on FanDuel and Pinnacle? Nope. But the math is mathing. Another Prize Picks play. There's your 3 entries for Prize Picks. Okay. So anyways, my bets yesterday, picks went 8 and 9. There's a bunch of pending NBA plays because I did not realize that the NBA, you can sort everything, sides, overs, unders, markets. If you ever want to research how are you doing with certain tools, the DFS optimizer, Plus EV optimizer, sharp money radar, like this is the future, y'all. If you ain't betting like this, you're in trouble. We got 9 picks that we've made this week on the live shows for later NBA games. Let's see how we end up. I will track these as well because that's what I do. And that's why this tool was made. You want to find out like certain books you might do better on, like how are you doing it? Okay. All the picks I've made on Underdog, 183 and 127. Is there any lean? Am I better on overs? No. Look at overs on Underdog, 68 and 58. Look at unders, 115 and 69, y'all. Are you joking me? DFS Optimizer, 65 and 36 to the under on underdog using the DFS Optimizer. How about the plus EV Optimizer? 30 and 22. Sharp Money Raider, 20 and 11. Pretty freaking good. So I had this tracking tool made because I want you to know this stuff. I think it's helpful. So we just reviewed DFS Optimizer, underdog unders. So you could come here, check off Prize Picks. I've got my filters for all my markets here. NBA, NHL, and then label under. I only want under. And by the way, edge percentages. Maybe we only want to play plays with a 3% or higher edge. Well, now we've got a small list. Remember, we just looked at it. Did you know you could do this? This is why we made the My Bets tool connected to all the tools on the site. At least the main ones here: Positive EV Optimizer, Sharp Money Raider, DFS Optimizer. Because you could go through there and you can find, are there angles you should be betting on certain books with the tools? Well, the DFS Optimizers, what did it? 67, almost 70% of the picks from the DFS. I don't know, whatever the math was. You can do it. It's up there, though. Mid to high 60s. Unders on underdog from the DFS Optimizer. Okay, cool. Dylan Brooks, under 16.5 points, minus 130 on FanDuel. We love to see that. It beats the sharp odds. It beats FanDuel. Minus 115 implied odds for a 2-pick entry. Dylan Brooks under 16.5 points. Bang. Okay. Neemias Queta, the big out there for Boston, beats FanDuel, beats the sharp odds, under 9.5 points, 5.3% edge. It's an under on underdog from the DFS Optimizer. Again, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I don't want to try to, look at the DVP and I don't care about the matchups, their trends. I just want to know, what is the price I'm paying for the picks I'm making? That is literally all that matters. It's just math. Here, and I just loaded it up so you can see it in full glory, baby. It's just math. Is everything I'm saying clicking today? I'm trying so hard to be so clear with the delivery today because I think there's so much money to be made by people using this site around the clock. If you watch me and you're watching these shows on the regular, okay? Be real. If you're watching these shows on the regular, and you are watching me have so many green days like this. Are there reds? Yeah. I mean, everybody has losing days in betting. There's a heck of a lot more greens. It's been an absurd run. And you're seeing all the picks I make on the show, the way I make them. And what is this? What is this about? 62.5%, 63% win rate? And you're watching me. What are we doing? You could be using this literally all day long on your own. Don't overthink it, man. Just don't overthink it. If I've been helping you for an hour per day, you can help yourself 23 other hours per day. I don't have access to Pick'em app, so all I'm doing is trying to help you. That's all, Keno. I can't even play them in my state. Know the meta of the site. There's an extent, to some extent here. Oh, for sure, VG. That's a great way to look at using these tools. It's all about the price. It ain't about the product. It's all about the price. It's not about the pick. The price you pay is more important than the pick itself. Why are you on that pick? Who cares? It's all about price. You pay, when you're searching for the best sneakers or whatever, right? You're looking for your new Jordans. You're price shopping, aren't you? Or if you're a dum-dum, you're heading to the local closest store that carries Jordans and you're buying them because they're on the rack there. You're an idiot. You're the reason why those stores, have beautiful displays. They've got a super fit, mannequin wearing that shirt because you're an idiot. And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to look like that. I don't care what the price tag is, you dum-dum. Go buy that shirt. No. Sharp consumers are price shopping because that shirt might be cheaper elsewhere. And then you got extra money in your pocket to go use it for something else. That's essentially all you're doing here. You're buying products and picks at the right price. Nothing more, nothing less. Very sharp people watch this show, and I love that. I don't. This show is much different than my picks videos on my 50,000. By the way, that tells you something. 50,000 subscribers on my picks videos channel, 5,000 subs on my live show channel. Sharp people tune into this show because you get it. You get it, and good for you. Make money betting, but do it based on their price. Don't do it based on game logs. This stuff is so dumb. I don't know how else to say. It's so dumb. It's useless information. It's all baked into the freaking lines, y'all. You think that like FanDuel and Prize Picks and all these apps, they are giving you graphs and stats within their apps now to help you? No. They want you to use that because they know it's not going to help you. And if anything, you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot because you know what looks beautiful? That Prize Picks popular tab. I gotta log in again. That's why I don't open these sites up. The Prize Picks popular tab that shows you 120,000 people have subscribed or have entered this pick. And then you click on it, and what's it do? It shows you 5 green games. Like, duh, they want you to use that. Oh my gosh, brother. What makes more sense to you? 3 picks having to cash on Prize Picks or 2 picks on Underdog? 2 picks on Underdog for a 3.5x is second to none. It's better than sports books. Like if you're like, man, I just want to put 2 pairs together at all times. Underdog. Don't even think twice. It's the best pick 'em app in the industry because of it. 3.5x. Always and forever. It's the only thing that matters. $57 likes today. We got 88 on YouTube. 303 people watching across the internet. Thank you so much for that. And again, anytime today, ever, that you want to try my product out, it's right there, pinned in chat. Post it again in the chat link. Just give it a look. Remember, that price tag's moving. As soon as the Parlay Builder and all this stuff is added to the site, things are going to change quickly, too. All right, so let's see if we can... I had an idea. Do we have NHL tonight? There might not be NHL games. 16th. Okay, there's a couple. We're going to remove the edge percentage. I wanted to show y'all something because I found this out, and every time I highlight it, I'm like, we need to do more NHL, and then I refuse to do more NHL. NHL, we've made 27 picks that have played. There's been a handful that are voided out because they don't play for whatever reason, scratched, injuries, I have no clue. Didn't start, whatever. They've been so good. And predominantly overs. It's insane. Like the optimizer is always banging out overs. The overs are 16-7. The unders, very small sample size, 4-0. I always say we should do more NHL. And part of the reason why I don't do more NHL is because currently, it hasn't been done yet. My developers have it on their list to do. I bought an API for NHL. It's not working yet. Yeah, so it's supposed to resolve it when we set up the API. So I haven't been doing NHL because currently I have to like go to Google and type in, did they, what's their stats? So we had 24 saves last night. So as soon as the resolve all button is in there, I think NHL becomes potentially the best place to be doing all this stuff. Last night at NHL, oh my gosh. Well, here's a billion plays for you. Let's look at them real quick. So for NHL, Pinnacle's kind of king. That's what I've been told and learned. So that's my barometer. That's what I use. So this Beckett Sinecki to have a point tonight on Underdog. All right. That's a play. Let's remove these. The other thing I've been told about Underdog is that, about NHL is because it's a smaller, like niche sport. When it gets a decent amount of volume from these tools, those lines move or the multipliers move from like a 1x to a 0.94x to a 0.86x, so on and so forth. Let's bang out some NHL plays real quick. So again, this is on Prize Picks of, I'm not going to actually grade those both. Leo Carlson, let's see. Pinnacle, minus 125. That's okay. There's probably better out there. Connor McDavid, minus 123. No good. I don't want it. Alex Killhorn, minus 123. So these, not a ton of value on this last night so far. As I'm looking at the Pinnacle odds, like I'm not paying for these pick'em plays here if they're not smashing the sharp odds and not smashing Pinnacle. It's kind of tough. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe these just aren't great tonight. And we could kind of force this one in. It is 10 cents better in Pinnacle. It's 8 cents better in sharp odds. You had a 3.3% edge. It's the last night of NHL. Maybe it's just a tough night for using the tool for NHL. We'll save just this one. We'll go Leo Carlson over 2.5 shots on goal, just so we can have like a single NHL slip. But honestly, you're probably better off just running out like MLB with it or something instead. So let's go ahead and remove NHL. I don't think it's the night for it. That's all. Let's remove NBA for a second, too. Let's take a quick look at underdog for MLB. Price Picks as well. Kiter Montero over for Kiter Montero? Disgusting. This guy is the worst. We've been betting unders on this man for years. Sheesh. Earned run. There it is. I knew there was a market we used to hammer. Earned runs. Well, he started off all right this season. Projections have him for 4.1. Over 3.5. Let's see. FanDuel. Does Pinnacle have odds yet? Nope. FanDuel minus 135. I've seen people in chat, by the way. So that's a play right there. Kiter Montero over 3.5 strikeouts. I've seen people in chat saying that they've been using the donuts approach, the donuts strategy, where I'm taking plays, I'm looking at sharp odds, and then I'm also comparing to Pinnacle and I'm comparing to FanDuel. That is like, that's just my current, view on how to use the tools. Are there better ways? Maybe. I don't know yet. I am just on week 6 of doing these streams, or week 5, since this all launched on March 11th. And I think people find out stuff by just using the products, and they've been sharing it inside Discord, which is cool to see. Kiter Montero sitting there at 3.5. Every once in a while, wrong screen. Every once in a while, when I do this stuff, like some of the plays will bump. Nothing is bumped today. It's been nice. But every once in a while, we'll find a play and we'll go to it and be like, that moved, I guess. And the API hasn't updated it yet. Let's see. I don't want to add NBA. These are for Prize Picks. Let's go over to the Sharp Money Raider. Do we have any plays here for underdog? $500 coming in at minus 117. Jacob Lopez under 2.5 walks. That's okay. Oh, wow. Somebody just threw down. Whoa. We watched it live. We just watched minus 117 Profit X, $500. Jacob Lopez just received another $483. This is the most basic tool in the industry. Okay. Jacob Lopez under 2.5 walks. I'm going to pop it in here and then we're going to talk. And I think this is why I really like this play. And this is going to bump quick, I think, because it seems actively like people are betting on this right now. And I'm assuming other sharp money tools will start to highlight this stuff. Let's talk about it real quick. What just happened live? Well, I love the opportunity to discuss what is the Sharp Money Raider. And I love that people in chat are starting to understand it's the secret weapon on the site. It's not the projections. It's not the optimizers. It's the Sharp Money Raider. The problem with the Sharp Money Raider, though, is I think people have their own ways to use it. And there's no blanket black and white way to use it. And we're going to discuss that right now as you have those 2 plays on the books. Let's make more plays together. So what is happening here? What we are doing is essentially tracking sharp money. We're tracking, people with deep pockets have got their own betting system, betting models. Maybe it's a collaborative approach with these things. Maybe it's a top handicapper, very popular handicapper, and they're dropping money on plays. So you got 1,000. Somebody was like, I love Chase Burns enough to go under 16.5 outs to put 1G down at -120 on ProfitX. And you look at that and you're just looking at that as like a signal. It's a sharp money radar. Okay. It pings and we flag it and we say, hey, this is worth presenting to the users. And the users look at this. They're like, all right, well, how do we take advantage of this? Well, as I've talked about before, my personal opinion is you leave this box selected longer than whale. What that does is it makes sure that whatever shows up here is going to be better odds than the sharp action. Sharp action's on a -120 right now. Well, okay. We're telling you if you're going to play it on Prize Picks, -118. Play it on Better, -118. Could you use it on BetMGM and Fanatics at the same odds? Sure. And like that's where I think there's this little discrepancy of like, how are people using it? I don't know the best approach. My personal view is I want longer odds, but it doesn't mean you can't just look at the money and take your, make your choices. And if you uncheck this box, you'll see a lot more plays pop up. Now, here's where I think you got to ignore it outright because this says, under 1.5 walks plus 120. Well, guess what? I'm not taking this at 35 cents worse. But there's probably other plays like this. I can look at this and say, okay, $1,000. Somebody said Will Benson's not getting a hit today, and they're that confident. Am I willing to bend the knee and play something slightly worse implied odds wise here? -1. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. -115. It's up to you. It's up to you. And I see people in chat. Some people do not use this. They want this unchecked because they just want to see where's the money. That's all where's the money? Mitch, I just want to know where the money is and I'll make my decisions. Fine, go for it. Sometimes when you leave this unchecked, you'll see plays later in the day, usually not early morning. You'll see plays later in the day, $3,000 on a play, $5,000 on a play, $7,000 on a play. And I'm telling you right now, if you're using the sharp money radar, 3 things you're looking for. You're looking for a lot of liquidity, number 1. Number 2, I think you need to look for a price that is better than what the sharp is getting. And then number 3, and this is the most important thing, it relates to both the first 2 things. I want to have plays that have a bigger discrepancy in liquidity and a bigger odds range in liquidity when comparing the other plays. What do I mean? Well, let's say I've got 2 plays. Let's pretend this said 5,000 at -125. And this said 1,000 at -122. The $5,000 liquidity in our fake analogy here, our hypothetical situation, 5,000 is more than 1,000. -125 is worse than a -118 or whatever we said. So what would be the better play? The one with more liquidity and worse odds, because we're getting the best discrepancy between the odds and the most money backing it. A lot to cover today. I love doing this with you. DVIG lines, remember, the only thing I care about here, am I beating the books? I sure am. Do I have FanDuel? Do I have Pinnacle to compare to yet? Not yet, unfortunately. Not yet. Under on Underdog, though, we know those have been good. Landon Roop, under 50.5 outs. I do a lot on this show. The one thing I did not look at today were the projections, and that's okay. That's all right. There's so much to cover every freaking day here. I hope today has been helpful, because I'm still looking at stuff down here on my own. I hope today has been helpful. I mean, my goal is to just line your pockets, but I also want to teach you a little bit. Not only do I want to line your pockets, but I want to show you how I am using these tools, how I bet on sports, how I view the landscape daily through my own lenses. I don't think people have it right anymore. I think the recipe is changed, and I think people are making it the way their mom did back in the day. And I think you got to update your approach to betting. I'd say 85-90% of the people out there, maybe not my viewers, but 80-90% of the population that bets on sports, they're very basic. They are using, stats and trends and matchups and DVP, last 5 game log, graphs. And I think those are big mistakes. And I think there's a reason why they're losing money. And I think they're looking at where the wind is blowing. I think they're looking at the bat speed on a swing, the spin rate on a curveball. They're looking at the defensive scheme in the NBA, their half-court defense. How are they going to trap the ball handler? How's this team doing in the paint? How many times is this person shooting the paint per night? Potential assist, rebound opportunities. It's irrelevant. I don't know how else to say it. You don't need it. None of it. You think Vegas doesn't know this stuff? This is all baked into the opening line. It's baked into the opening odds. And then the sharp people in the world are betting on certain things with their own models, with all this taken into consideration, and they're crafting the lines for you. So you use math on the site, the optimizers. You follow the money, the sharp money radar. Or if you're going to originate your picks, you ain't doing it yourself. You're doing it based on a model that takes all of this information and it simulates it 10,000 times. And it gives you the outputs and it tells you where the edge percentage is compared to the lines and the price you're paying. I'm sorry. People using their cell phones, people on their tablets and their desktops and looking at all those stats and metrics and trends and matchups, you're doing it. I don't think it's the most optimal way. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. All right, my friends. I love y'all. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching MySpartyEdge.com. That is my betting site. You will see me every single day using this tool to bet on sports every day. Click around through the site. You'll see all the examples of the site I think my stream just froze. Crap.